What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install the Magnolia Advanced Designs half-inch bumper spacer kit onto the Silverado ZR2. Alright, so right here we're looking at the actual contents of the kit. You'll get 2 main spacer brackets for the front bumper. The 2 small square brackets go to the corner mounts on the front bumper. Also, you'll get 6 M10 40mm screws and 6 washers to go along with them. All right, the first step is you're gonna wanna come right here and disconnect your battery. Don't mind these red and black wires. This is just a RGB light I have installed on my truck. All right, now that you got your battery disconnected, the next thing you wanna do is start working on getting the grill off. Getting the grill off isn't really too bad. First thing you're gonna do is take this black piece off that you use to unlatch your hood. Once you take that off, you're gonna go around and take off all of these plastic press pins around this top cowl part or whatever you call this, and you'll take this part off. Then you'll have access to like 4 bolts on top of the grill, and then you take those off, then the grill can just pop out. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate that. Remove these 2 screws holding on the hood latch and slide it off. All right, got that off and set to the side. Now let's start working on these press pins, whatever you call them. I have this little trim removal tool to help me get this off. You don't need it. It just makes it easier. Right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of these that go all around this part. It's a lot of them. All right, so once you get those removed, you're free to just pick up on this and move it out of the way and just set it to the side for now. All right, with that removed, you just want to remove these 4 10mm bolts. All right, with those off, you can start popping off the grill. So the grill is gonna have clips here out wide, here, here. I think there's some in the middle. There's more in this corner, and here out wide. Be careful when you're doing this. Last time I did this, I damaged this clip right here, and that was hanging on by a prayer now. So I gotta be extra careful. Also, keep in mind when removing the grill that you need to lift up on this tab up top because it has some retaining features that snap in the holes up there. All right, so when removing the grill, there was a few connections I had to disconnect. One is the washer fluid hose. This was clipped into a bunch of semicircles inside the grill. You just had to pop them out of all of them, and also you have to pop it out over here. The other connections were these 2. I think this is the camera, and these are the lights that go in the grill. So you got to pop those out. Once you get those out, get all the clips unpopped, you can remove the grill. And while I got it off, I'll show you the clips are here, here. There was one down low. Where's the low one at? Is this it? Yeah, here, 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 these, and also you have like retaining features that want to stay in these slots, so you got to peel up on those. All right, so now we need to get this active shutter panel out of the way. It's pretty easy. You have these 4 bolts across the top. Then I believe you have 2 going down each side and 1 centered on the bottom right here. All right, so you do have a few things to do before the active shutter panel can be popped out. These 2 clips, you just want to pull those out of the active shutter panel. Over here on the right side, you want to disconnect this connector that's connected right here. You want to pull this washer fluid connector from right there, and this wire right here will be removed with the assembly, so you don't got to worry about that. All right, now we're on to the part that we had to take all this stuff to get to. So holding the bumper on, you have 8 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 beneath that you have to get to on each corner. 5, 6, other corner, 7, 8. All right, so the first ones we're gonna take off are the ones beneath. So I'm gonna show you how to get those off. All right, so you come down under the truck, right in front of the wheel well, where your brush guard is. You can pull your wheel liner back And those two bolts right there, those are the two that you're gonna remove. You're gonna remove those on both sides. I do have access to those right away. My bumper is already spaced out 1/2 inch. I'm actually changing from my prototype parts to my production parts right now. So if you don't have enough access to get in there already, you would just have to remove a few of these and pull this back some. But right now I have access the way it is. So I just need to get to these two bolts on both sides. All right, so the 4 bolts down below, like I said, the 2 in each corner, those are going to be 15 millimeter bolts. And these at the top are going to be 18 millimeter bolts. All right, so I got these 4 bolts up top removed, and I got the 4 bolts down below removed. So now all I got to do is disconnect this harness right here, because that's connected to the fog lights. Disconnect that, then you're free to remove the bumper. All right, so now you're going to want to remove these 3 bolts on each side. Once you remove these 3 bolts, these brackets in the front will just be able to pop right off. With those off, you're going to install your spacer between here and the bracket that you just removed. All right, so install your spacers by sandwiching them between the brackets on each side. Then use the scars from the old locations to line them up and tighten them down. All right, so on your bumper, this bracket right here is what holds on the corners of the bumper to the frame of the truck. So since you're pushing the bumper that way, you need to move these holes back this way to keep everything in line. So because of that, you got to install this spacer right here. This is just the 3D printed one that I did when I first designed this kit, so I'm about to replace this with the stainless steel one. All right, so I removed the screw that was there and there to take this L bracket, this angle bracket right here off. And now I'm gonna put this spacer right there and put everything back on. I'm gonna reuse the same screws on this one. All right, so now I got this one installed. You can see I got the spacer up there. Reuse the same hardware on these. Same deal over here, spacer installed. Use the same hardware. Now this one's ready to go back on. I'm gonna get this out of the way. I'm gonna lift the bumper and put it back on. All right, so at this point, I've hung the bumper back on the truck, but I haven't installed any of the bolts, and I just want to remind you to reinstall the fog light connector right here. All right, so as you can see here, the bumper is back hung on the truck. These 2 holes aren't perfectly lined up, but that's not a problem. Just take the bumper, slide it back a little bit. If yours is the same way, maybe it's not. Maybe you got to slide 4. Either way, go ahead and start all 4 of these bolts at the bottom, the 2 on each corner, and don't tighten them down just yet. Gonna wait until you get all of them in first. Once you got all 4 bolts in the bottom started, go ahead and start all 4 of them on the top. Once you get all 4 on the top started, you can go ahead and tighten them all down, and then you can go back to the bottom and tighten the 4 on the bottom down also. All right, so at this point, I got the bumper back on, and I have put all the bolts back around this and connected this connector back. So now it's time to go back on with the grill. All right, now that I got these 4 bolts reinstalled, I'm just gonna put this plastic car oil cover back on here, whatever you call it, and reinstall the push pins to get it back secured. All right, so slide this handle back on, reinstall the screws, and reconnect your battery. All right, so at this point, you've completed the install and you've unlocked a better turning radius with larger tires on your Silverado ZR2. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for shopping with Magnolia Advanced Designs, and be sure to stay on the lookout for new products and updates that I'll be coming out with.